So it's Jonnie G here. We're at the Rossetta bar. Simon Patterson's with us. Simon, how are you doing today?
Yeah, really good. Actually, good to be back.
Simon, how does it feel to be back in Belfast again?
You know, obviously it's always a great honour to be back in Belfast. Having the privilege to play at the Coach or Planet Love or Lush. Strange as it may seem, I played here for the same guys in January at a smaller capacity venue, which would probably be described as a social club.
Yeah.
And, you know, it held a very minimal amount of people, but it's honestly the best event I've ever played in Ireland as a whole. And I've been lucky enough to play at loads of events in Ireland, but the fact that the people from my hometown came out, that it was an amazing vibe and it was busy. Honestly, to be back here again, to play at this sort of venue amongst the same crowd, it's an honour for me, and this is the best place to play in Ireland right now for me. And the people might find that really difficult to believe because there's so many great events like Planet Love going on, but it's just so intimate and local that for me it's amazing. So great to be back.
So it is good to be back at home, obviously. Now, you were saying now that you're actually from around sort of the Finicky sort of area.
Yeah.
So what's it actually like, mate? That you've actually grown up in Northern Ireland, you've actually grew up here, and now you're an absolute international superstar. How does that feel?
I wouldn't say international superstar.
Oh, no, yes, come on, mate.
Come on, listen. I'm still a local guy. I'm still, proud to be from Ireland, and that's the most important thing for me. Is the fact that, it's great to be DJing around the world, but for me to be back in my hometown, where I've got people who are from my hometown coming out to support me and hear me play, that is my buzz, because I know what these guys want to hear on the dance floor. I've been on the dance floor wanting to hear the same thing. I know what needs to be done to give them what they want, and I buzz off that, In England and, around the world, it's a different mentality, but Ireland is the same mentality as me. I want to go nuts, and I'll make sure people go nuts, and, that's all I can do is do my best. To be back here and have the support is unreal. It's just good to be back then, yeah. I'd rather be back here than anywhere else.
So, Simon, obviously nowadays, as far as I'm concerned, Smack was the first big, massive hit you had. Now, obviously, you've recently produced Thump. Now, there's been so many remixes of Smack done. I could name 10 off the top of my head here, but, Thump just seems to be something that's completely unique to yourself. Thump is obviously just one of the most, it's so uplifting, and then it turns dirty, and then it's just uplifting again, and it's banging. Yeah. So how does it actually feel for the likes of Paul Van Dyke, Arnold Van Buren, John O'Callaghan? How does it actually feel for you, for them guys? So here, let's be honest, they're considered in the top 10 DJs in the world. Obviously, they are considered huge DJs. I'm sure one day, Simon, you're going to get to do yourself. So I hope so. How does that feel for you, man?
Yeah, well, it feels great, and I spent a long time trying to home in what I'm about as a DJ, and like I said in the previous question before, I've been on the dance floor, having it, I'm wanting to hear a particular thing that's going to make me turn around to my mate and say, mate, I'm not going to go to the toilet. This is me. I'm here. I'll see you soon. That thing, and that's the style that with Bulldozer, Smack, and Thump that I came up with. That whole uplifting breakdown, and then it's almost like the surprise factor. What is going to happen next? You don't want to leave a dance floor. I'm not going to go to the toilet. I don't care if my bird's at the bar with a double vodka and lemonade. I'm staying here until the beat comes back in. That's where I'm going with this. I want people to be like, what is happening next? And the thing is, I can keep continuing this style, but I'm a trance DJ too. I love uplifting stuff, and I have so much new stuff to come on. That White Thump, White Smack, and is even more crazy than this stuff. And I will continue to do it, but I also want to go into the sort of more mainstream stuff and do vocal stuff, and spread to the masses, but always keep the sort of fan base. So it's such an honour for Van Dyke and Armin to play my stuff. I looked up to these guys, and without these guys playing my stuff, I wouldn't be here even playing to these guys more. So it's amazing.
It must be such a feeling. I'm sure it is, Simon. But nowadays, you used to play. Now, back in 2007, you did play Planet Love under the name of Dogzilla. Now, what's actually happened to Dogzilla? Has he disappeared, or is it just you want to focus on sort of yourself now?
It's just that Dogzilla was me and Richie Caveman, and he was a more guitarist, sort of vocalist, and an amazing producer. We worked well together to do some really cool, so-called cool tracks, sort of vocally records, which people liked. But to be honest, I'm more of a DJ. I'm not a DJ at Simon Patterson, and I want to, DJ to people and have people know what my own stuff's about. So I just, we both decided that it's better for us to concentrate on our own stuff, and I don't play too much of Dudley's stuff out, so I just do my own thing now. And I'm not saying that Dudley is over, but just for now, I want to concentrate on Sam Patterson. And like I said, I have so many new things to come out that I hope people are going to like them as much as they like the previous stuff.
Awesome, Simon. So one last question for you then. Obviously, in the past, you have been known to do a hell of a lot of work with Sean Tyus.
Yeah.
Yes. Have you got any more stuff coming up?
Yeah. Sean Tyus, and I also have to mention Greg Downey, who's also from here, are my best friends. I spend a long time speaking to each. Greg used to live beside me 10 minutes away, but he lives back here now. And Sean is in Switzerland. I've done so much work with both of them. So yeah, next year, me and Sean are doing. I don't know if people will know, but there's a production magazine called Future Music, which is all about production techniques. Me and Sean are doing the December issue where they're going to come and film us in the studio and see what we do and how we make certain sounds, and we're going to do a track live there and then to look and see what we do. So looking forward to that. That will be the next Sean Patterson track. Hopefully we'll add a vocal to that and make it a little bit bigger than the last thing we did. And then me and Greg have said for years we're going to do something, but we've also been honing our skills and trying to learn more production techniques for the last 3 or 4 years. I think now we're at a really good level to go in and do something really unique, because Greg, his style is so crazy when he thinks about it, and so is mine. I'm in the psytrance, headspace, and he's in like an even crazier, prodigy, old, like 1982 headspace. I don't even know what headspace he's in, but I think together we can make something ridiculous, like a new genre. So that's what I'd love to do. I don't want to make a trance track with Greg or make it do something a little bit different. But for me and Sean, we're going to do something. We've already got a track written for the magazine, so that's the next thing to go with us.
Simon, also got to say to you, it's good luck. And I think there is one more thing to say. Since you're home alone, man, it would be probably whoop, there it is. Would you agree with me?
Potentially. I'd say ask me that question after my set, and then we might be able to come up with a whole new terminology.
Hopefully. Simon, it's been fantastic speaking to you. Enjoy the night.
Thanks a lot.